Hello, friends, family, saints, and ain'ts. Welcome. It's Thursday. This is Radiant Rap, where we like to I love to share, maybe add a little value using that radiant formula of things I believe we need to be healthy and whole, which is some rest. You need to get your sleep, activity awareness, which is a bit of what we're talking about today. Just being aware of what it is that you're doing. Your diet, what you eat, matters. Introspection, including prayer and meditation. Agua, you have to hydrate with some water. Note taking, journaling, writing some things down, and training. You got to do the work. And that's the other piece of what we're talking about today. I asked the question, do you want to create a new habit? Is there something that you want to change? And I'm not talking about temporarily. A habit is not just a temporary fix. And there's nothing wrong with fixing something quickly, a quick fix. If you need a quick fix and you're able to do a quick fix, then great. Here's the thing, quick fixes will not last. They don't last. So my question to you is, do you have some suggestions on how to create a new habit? I have a couple. Wanted to know if you have any. So I'll give you a minute in case you're catching this on the replay. If you have a suggestion for creating a new habit, you can put it in the comments now. I really like this. My friend and uh, colleague Joseph said on a call we had last night that if you don't miss doing it, it's not a habit. Like, if that's when you know it's a habit, like you're really aware you missed the fact that you didn't do it. So what I want to share is that this guy, Maxwell Maltz, actually Dr. Maxwell Maltz, is or was a plastic surgeon in the 50s. And he basically is behind the whole number of days that most people have accepted or have learned or have been told is the number of days that you need to do something before it's a habit. What is that number? You don't have to be watching this live. You can tell me what you think that number is or what you've heard that number is. Well, this doctor, Maxwell Maltz, is where that number came from. If you said 21, that's the number I heard always growing up. And this plastic surgeon, it came from him. What happened? Yeah, exactly, Michelle. I heard the same thing. Well, it came from Dr. Maltz, this plastic surgeon, because he started observing a lot of his patients. And what he recognized as he was recording things is that it took, on average, 21 days before a patient became more familiarized with the changes that had occurred in their body. If it was a nose job, in 21 days, it kind of felt like their nose. Or maybe if they had a leg amputation, that sense of phantom leg where you still felt that the leg was there, it tended to go away, and they didn't have a sense of it after about 21 days. So Dr. Maltz began thinking about his own behaviors if he tried to make changes. And he started observing that. And what he noticed is that on average, it was taking him about 21 days to make a change, to form a new habit. So in the 60s, he published his observations in a book called Psycho-Cybernetics. Psycho-Cybernetics. That was in 1960. And what he said in that, along with the observations, is that it took a minimum of 21 days to have this new sense of a habit. And because it was so successful, this book, it sold like 30 million, over 30 million copies. A lot of the top self-help professionals, like Zig Ziglar, like Tony Robbins, started using and referencing this material. Well, it turns out that it was like, the telephone game where one person tells another person, another person, another person. And soon it no longer was, there was no longer the mention of a minimum of 21 days. It was just being said 21 days. And it turns out, enough people are saying something long enough, then it can be accepted as the truth. And actually, it's not. It's not the truth. Hi, Cheryl Lee. How are you? And Michelle, I can't even believe I can never catch up with you because you're always somewhere presenting and supporting the nurses of the country. So good to see you around. So what happened next is, among others, because there are other studies too, but the person that I want to reference is Professor Dr. Philippa Lally, Lally. She decided to find out what the real deal is. She was at the University College of London, and so she did a study, and this study was published in the European Journal of Social Psychology. And she and her team studied 96 people for 12 weeks. And all they did was assign them, or they assigned themselves, I'm not sure, one new habit a day. And some of the habits were really simple, like drinking an additional 8 ounces of water a day. Some of them were more of a commitment, like running for 15 minutes a day, right? And what they had to do was record every day whether they did the habit, whether they did that particular thing that they wanted to commit to, and how automatic it was, how comfortable they felt doing it, how automatic it was. That's all they had to do each day. Record whether they did it, and then also record if it felt automatic. So on average, my friends, it took more than 2 months. Now, you'll see some places it'll say 63 days, some places it'll say 66 days. But the point is, it took over 2 months. And guess what else? It depends on the person. That was the average. So some people, it was around the 21 days, even as low as 18. But other people, it was 254 days. That's almost a year, my friends. Between 2 months and 8 months is how long it took these 96 people to develop this habit. And like my friend Joseph says, where, they missed it if they didn't do it. That's how you know it's a habit, right? And guess what? Okay, so I don't want you to be discouraged because I know we live in this microwave society. We want things to, to be like a quick fix. Well, guess what? It's not a sprint, it's a marathon, and that's okay. You know why? One, it didn't matter if they missed some days. Like it didn't blow the study away if one day they didn't do the habit. They were still successful because it's a marathon, not a sprint, right? So they didn't have to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect in this process. So a couple of things that I want to leave you with creating your new habit is to manage your expectation. You don't have to be down on yourself, beat yourself up if in 21 days you haven't created a habit, because that may more than likely is not long enough to create the habit. Slow and steady, the tortoise over the hare, right? Slow and steady as you go. So manage your expectations. Understand that you need to be kind to yourself because and perfection is not required. Be kind to yourself. Perfection is not required. It is a marathon, not a sprint. Secrets to creating a new habit. Listen, I love you, my friends. There's not a thing that you can do about it. You can put your comments if you have things to add to that. We'd love for you to share. Also, if you're not already liking me on Instagram, please do. Be my friend on Facebook. Follow me on YouTube. I appreciate you. You have greatness inside of you. I love you, and there's not a thing you can do about it. Bye for now.